This is the Maker's Muse Puzzle Egg, a gorgeous 3D printed model that has more to it than meets the eye. Around this time each year, I like to design some kind of egg-themed model. It started out fairly innocent with this egg cache which screws together to hide goodies inside. Then I designed this spiky dragon egg as part of a Fusion 360 tutorial. Those models weren't all that challenging, however, so in 2018, I created the Easter egg torture test. This diabolical model consists of 3 freely rotating components which print all at once. It's the ultimate test of your 3D printer's capabilities, but what if instead of challenging your machine, we flipped the script? That's right, it's your turn. This puzzle has 3 rotating sections with the goal of aligning all the colours. Well, that doesn't sound very difficult, does it? It's little more than a fidget toy. Well, if we left it just like that, yes. But it has a secret. Grab the panel with the logo and pull it out, and all will be revealed. This is in fact a rotary take on the popular 15 puzzle. The 15 puzzle is a sliding puzzle dating back to the 1870s, where the goal is to rearrange an image with only one space of movement between the tiles. You can have as many tiles as you like, however in this case, there's only 9, including the insert, which would be equivalent to a 3x3 grid. Sounds pretty simple, right? But there's a twist. Literally. In addition to the rotation, there are 3 helical paths running up and down the puzzle, which makes the pieces twist and wrap around each other as you move them, instead of simply moving up and down vertically. With the logo tile removed, you can, scramble it, and then try to solve it again. The outer texture is so you can more easily manipulate each tile, and the magnets are used to help index each rotation. Like any other puzzle with rotating or sliding components, getting all the parts to index correctly and slide without jamming up or encountering resistance is a massive feat. Want to see what this 3D model looks like in CAD? No? Too bad. This design is the result of countless tests and failures, with each iteration influencing a little bit of clearance here and there, or complicated cut angles to allow parts to smoothly move into position instead of jamming up, or usability improvements such as the cuts applied to each tile. It took a long time to get to this point. The parts had to work when 3D printed, so not only is clearance a concern, but also overhangs, so all parts are specifically designed to not require support material. Here are all the parts printed and ready for assembly, 15 in total, plus you'll need 8 magnets. You may also need some glue to hold the magnets in place depending on the tolerances of your 3D printer. Before starting, I recommend checking the parts can move freely around each other. The tiles should freely slide up and down the middle rails, and in turn they should spin freely on the center rod. If not, you may need to adjust clearances in the file provided, or fine-tune your printer and slicer settings, or even use a little bit of sandpaper on some rough edges, but I have tips for all of that in the instructions for the file. I find it easiest to assemble from the bottom up, starting from the bottom piece and central rod, which you insert and then rotate and lock into position. It should snap snugly into position and not back out easily. For magnets, I use 6mm ID and 3mm neodymium magnets, just like Devon uses in his spectacular Sphericon puzzles, so if you have some on hand, you can use them here. And maintaining the correct polarity is critical. It's really important, so I find it easiest to assemble and insert them as you go, starting with the outer middle rail components, which only have 1 magnet hole each. They're designed for press fit, but a tiny drop of glue should help stop them pull out if they're a little loose. Next, you'll need to insert 6 magnets into the central rail, checking constantly that they are attracted to the magnet below them, or the parts won't work. It can be challenging, they tend to want to jump around a bit, so be patient. Complete the center assembly with the top rail and remaining magnet, and each layer should rotate with that oh so satisfying magnetic snap every 120 degrees. So it's time to add our tiles. You can choose any colors, textures, or combinations you like here. The only rule is to assemble the puzzle in a solved state, as not all random configurations are solvable, unless that's what you're going for, you nasty person. Finally, tighten the top into place and your puzzle egg is complete. I printed 3 overall in these gorgeous color combinations. This one is printed using white, pink, and blue Polyalchemy Elixir PLA and has a gorgeous shine with all parts printed on the Creality Ender 3. This egg has my favorite filament of all time, Nightshade Purple. Another Polyalchemy filament. This egg was an earlier version and the magnets used are smaller, so the movement is a little bit more mushy, but gorgeous nonetheless. And finally, I tried some unusual combinations with Polyalchemy Effects, which is the brown here, 3D Phillies Marble Effect PLA, and Hobby King Light Blue PLA, which is accented by printing the removable logo tile in silver and the end caps in Abyss Polyalchemy filament. And this one looks really neat, sort of architectural almost in its appearance. By the way, if you find yourself printing parts like this in similar shiny filaments, make sure you enable seam alignment in your slicer, as the starts and ends of perimeters are incredibly obvious with shiny filament and ruin the look. Here's a part without alignment for the seams, and here's a part where they're all aligned to the rear. Way better, right? In addition to solving a scrambled puzzle, you can also rearrange the tiles into a shape-shifted configuration, like this one I like to call the turbine. And honestly, it's a fantastic puzzle to fiddle with. I often find myself just randomly playing with it while I'm like watching a video or talking to someone, you know, just chilling. It's really fun to just play with actually, and then you have to figure out how to solve it again. I spent weeks designing this thing and countless hours printing iterations, but the file is free to download through the link below. I want to stress that. This is a free model. I've also included .step models for the parts if you need to increase and decrease clearances if required. I showed how to do that in my recent video on CAD for newbies using the push-pull command in Fusion 360. So print it for yourself, family and friends, but no commercial use, please. Get in touch if you're interested in that. In times like this, I feel we all need a little bit of distractions and, you know, puzzles are a great way to do it. Our PM even said so.
I can assure you over the next few months, we're going to consider those jigsaw puzzles absolutely essential.
All I ask in return is that you hit up one of your local businesses and give them some love in this difficult time. It might be a restaurant or cafe turned takeaway. Heck, some bars here are even doing home delivery cocktails. I don't care. Just make sure you support them so they're here at the end of all this. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy printing. Bye.